All right, we're back. It's been a little while since we've come out here and had a conversation. So, the Hardcore Record, Episode 9, Two Vinyl Nerds, Volume 7. This episode was recorded before the holidays and my winter sickness that lasted about a month there. So, I don't remember what we talked about. I briefly went through the recording, and that's about it. So, in hardcore record fashion, let's listen and find out. All right, we're back for, I think this is episode, or the Two Vinyl Nerds, Volume 7. This will probably be the last one for the year. I know Jen is extremely excited for another episode.
All right, cool. That's good.
Yeah.
That's one. That's one.
Yeah. She'll keep asking where I am.
That's awesome.
I know we left off. We were probably going to do some like great finds. I lost a lot of those notes, but I still have plenty of stuff to talk about. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because we were always kicking around ideas of what to talk about next, and then it just dawned on me like great finds would be perfect because then we could also talk about like record stores themselves rather than just the records.
Yes, good. I got some.
Which is cool. But I do want to start by saying I'm taking a few liberties with this one because some of these records I'm talking about I lost and have since replaced.
Okay.
So this is like the initial time that I found these records.
I got you.
That's is what right. what I'm gonna talk about because it was special, and I still think about it, and it's cool that we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But when Sandy hit, I lost like a third of my collection.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, and I've been on this hunt to try to just like replace everything that I've lost and then some,
Did you get everything, or are you still kind of chasing down some of it?
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty much there. There's a couple of things that I've yet to find. And then I'm thinking, like, did I even have them in the first place?
Yeah, I do that. I'm like, where did this record go? I know I had it, and I can't find it. It's never in any list I ever had. I'm like, well, maybe I didn't have it.
Yeah, so there's a couple of those, but one of which has just been recently re-released. And I'm like, oh, should I just get the re-release? I'm like, fuck that. No, I want the original because I know I had the original. So I'm holding out.
All right, awesome.
Hit it.
So, one quick note: did the last time we talked, did I talk to you about the Street Dogs show I went to?
You did. I think Maybe. You did.
I don't know. I just have to note on that because they played 3 songs off the original Dropkick Murphys Do or Die album.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
It was like a spur-of-the-moment thing. They did it. It happened. And it was absolutely one of the awesomest things ever. I felt
I'm sure the place went berserk.
Yeah, we did.
Do they do that regularly? I mean...
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't think they're supposed to do it, really. I think there's like some sort of legality thing. Who knows? But
oh, fuck that.
But they did it, and when they played "Get Up," when they were screaming "Get Up and Get Out," I was absolutely euphoric, about it. And that was it. Yeah. They just ripped through those 3 songs, and then that's it. They were done, and they were like off the stage, and like everyone vacated. And I'm like walking down the streets in Boston, and I'm just freaking out. Just totally freaking out. I'm like, I can't believe that just happened, Yeah. So.
Did you hurt anything? Got out unscathed?
No, actually, I did get hit in the head, though, because someone jumped on me right at that moment.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Like I said, I bet the place went fucking nuts, especially in your area,
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
That was awesome.
That's all right.
Great. Go for it. What do you got?
Okay, so... all right. I've also got some that aren't like music related. They're just like part of my collection. I don't know. I'll get there. But so So my first one is Quicksand, Slip.
Great
I
album.
remember I had just seen them at City Gardens, and Slip had just come out, and I don't know if this is just like a weird memory that I have, or if this is how it was, but the, a lot of times there were like very few bands that sold merch at City Gardens. You know, I feel like you would just go to the show and then there wasn't like a whole fucking stand of records and T-shirts and things.
You don't get that a lot nowadays.
Yeah. Anyway, so they didn't have it. They didn't have Slip with them. And I was just like, "Fuck, man! Like, what the fuck? You know, like I need this record. You know." So like within that week, maybe even 2 days later, or possibly the next day, I went to the Vintage Vinyl in Long Branch, the one that was off of 35. It wasn't the one in the big
one.
Yeah, the big one was in Ford's, and they had a smaller one on 35 in Long Branch. And I went there in the hopes to find this record. You know, I walk in the door, I see the person at the counter, I say hi, whatever, and then I fucking turn. I'm not even kidding. Like, I remember this like it was yesterday. I turned the corner because they had this stand where there was like new releases and things, just kind of there. And then you turn the corner, and then you're like kind of the rest of the store was there. And I turned, and I looked at the far back wall, and I fucking saw it, like front and center, like in the bin. I'm like, holy shit, there it is, So I just like darted over there, and it wasn't even in like the punk or hardcore section. It was in like the alternative section.
Yeah,
like,
that's what was rising up then. Alternative.
Yeah. I guess this is where they are now. So yeah, but it was like right in the fucking front, and I turned the corner, I saw it there, and I'm like, fuck yeah! So I ran over there, I grabbed it, and after that, I didn't even care. I didn't even want to keep shopping. I'm just like, I'm ready. I'll just go home right now. I was there for 2 minutes.
It's a long drive too. Yeah, just to go away for one record.
Yeah, I know.
But
so then so then I scoured the bins for some other things. But dude, just that fucking record. Oh man, what can you say about it?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's fucking perfect, is what it is.
I like the record a lot. I don't listen to it often.
If you're into that style or whatever, it's just perfect. There's no skippers, and it's so at the restaurant, I play a couple Quicksand songs, and then like when one song comes on, I'm like, fuck, I want to hear the rest of the record now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just.
But you got to change it up, right?
Just imprinted in my brain. Like, okay, after this song is this song. And I can't wait to fucking hear it. But yeah, so I listened to the shit out of that record, and I dubbed it to tape, and the vinyl version had the Smiths cover of How Soon Is Now, which I don't think the CD or cassette version had it.
Yeah.
But what's even cooler is the cassette version had like extra tape on the B-side, and I remember when you put a piece of tape over the thing and you can tape over like cassettes.
Yeah.
Like those little tabs, like you break them off and then you can't record on it. But if you put a piece of paper in there and a piece of tape, you can re-record on the cassette.
Yeah.
I remember I did it for two of my friends. I took their Slip cassette and I put the tape over the tab and I recorded How Soon Is Now from vinyl onto their
that is awesome.
Their original Quicksand Slip cassette.
I miss that stuff.
I know Chad had it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't really. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just that record is still a pretty important piece of post-hardcore history.
The biggest talent. Go ahead. Sorry.
A lot of bands that kind of ran with that genre owe everything in the world to Quicksand, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Especially that record.
Yeah, well, Walter's a genius.
Yeah, right.
He touches his absolute gold. I have some old bootleg stuff of World's Fastest Car.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my hands on one with the bootlegs.
That never got really released though, I don't think.
No, a couple of those songs turned into rival school songs.
That's right. Yep.
But as a whole, like, yeah, none of that shit was ever officially released.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I think the biggest thing, like when you were talking about the tape, like taping over the tape and being able to
or
record on it.
Tab.
The biggest problem nowadays is trying to get like non-bought, MP3 files onto like my iTunes. And getting them onto my phone. I've successfully done it many times now.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
somebody sent me like these AIF files of like a bunch of their songs, and I had to figure out, I had to convert them to MP3s, and then I had to like upload one song at a time and then wait for iTunes to like refresh it, and then it popped up on my phone. And I was like, yes. But anyway.
It's a labor of love for sure, man.
Yeah. Because the most of the time when I can really concentrate on listening to music is when I'm at work. So.
Yeah. So you need digital files.
I have a vintage vinyl story. I've actually never told you about these records I own, and they're absolutely awesome. And I went to Vintage Vinyl with this dude Mike, I know, years and years and years ago, and they were Misfits bootlegs, and which they're really famous for. I will take pictures of these things later tonight, and
you got to show me.
I'll send them to you.
Yeah,
because they're 2 picture discs of the Misfits Skull, one in red, one in green. They're the Horror Business Sessions, Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Oh my goodness!
And it's all the Horror Business songs. There's probably like 60 songs, and they're slowed down.
Yeah.
Because it's their practice songs.
Yeah, right. They're just like it out. That's
Mike was so
awesome.
mad. I picked him up and I held him the whole time. And he's like, I want to buy those. I'm like, I'm buying them. We got into like a little argument. And he's like, the whole way home, he's like, I should have picked those up when I first saw them. I'm like, well, tough. You didn't say anything.
Yeah, right.
But they're really, really cool. And when they spin, they're like, the skulls, and then there's like this like white swirl on them, and it just it's really wicked, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
But Vintage Vinyl always had Misfits bootlegs.
Yeah.
Any given day. Yeah. I don't know, But anyway.
Yeah. That's rad. Very cool.
Let's talk about a show, I guess. The Judge Show. You went to your Judge Show, and I went to my Judge Show up here.
Yeah.
Mine was awesome. You ever listen to a band called Shark Attack?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Apparently they've been around for a long time. I never listened to them.
Yeah.
But
they were around, and they kind of went away, and then now they're like, they just pop up and play randomly.
Yeah. They were cool. I was impressed with them.
Yeah, they're great. They fucking rip.
Yeah, and then Ankle Biter played, but I guess that band's called it quits now. They broke up. Have you listened to them? I think I told you about them a lot. But,
yeah, you did tell me about them.
You gotta listen to them.
Yeah, I gotta check them out.
You gotta make it a point because they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole show was great. Colin of Arabia played, or COA for short, Boston Hardcore.
Really?
Yeah.
On that Judge bill?
Yeah. So it was like,
oh wow,
this other straight edge band through and through: Ankle Biter, COA, Shark Attack, and or Shark Attack, COA, and then Judge played.
Okay.
Oh, it was awesome. Seeing
COA
every time is just a joy. That's
great.
It's such a good, awesome, cool hardcore band.
Yeah. Didn't someone recently re-release some of their stuff, or am I making that up?
COA.
Yeah. Iodine?
I think they. No, not Iodine. I think they put some new stuff out on not new stuff, but like their older stuff out on streaming.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Good luck trying to find any of their.
Yeah, dude.
Their stuff. Yeah, they got a new 7-inch out on. There's a label up here called Triple B Records.
Cool.
Yeah, that 7-inch is pretty awesome too.
Is it in line with a lot of the shit they did back then?
Yeah, yeah. They're just
Cool.
fucking straight hardcore band. Just
Yeah.
to the point. No,
Right.
no fuss. Just this is
Yeah.
what we're here, and come listen and have fun.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
If you don't like it, fuck off. Plain and simple.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. What do you got?
Okay, yeah. So I'll stick with the Walter theme. So the Philly Arts Council used to do shows, and there was going to be a show with the Cro-Mags and 108, and the Cro-Mags didn't show, and it was like a lot of people were up in arms about it, and there was like it was very tense. You know what I mean? Like the whole night was just very like someone's going to lose their fucking mind. And it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But do you remember Very Distribution?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Very was there. They were set up. They had, their fucking 2 tables worth of fucking bins, and it was fucking every time I would see those guys at a show, I knew that I didn't have enough money on me. Yeah, fuck, man. I'm gonna have to find an ATM. But so they were they were set up there, and I found a bootleg of the Moondog 7-inch, which was pretty much Quicksand. Well, it was a Walter project, and it eventually morphed into Quicksand. But apparently one of the songs was like an old Grill Biscuit song that they would play live, but they never released it. And it was basically a practice tape that was bootlegged onto a 7-inch, and Very had it in their distro, and I was just like, fucking hell, I can't believe this is in this bin, you know what I mean? So I grabbed it, I bought it, and I'm walking around with it, and I'm not kidding, Brian, I must have had like 4 people come up to me, strangers. Where'd you get that 7-inch? I'm like, over there at that table, Yeah.
Was it the only one?
I'm pretty sure it was the only one. Yeah. And they were saying, where'd you get it? I'm like, right over there, go check, And then, but it was like...
Yeah, go away. And then you went
right. Yeah. It was funny, though, because I never had that happen, Like, I would just buy records and, just carry them and walk around. And
so you're saying that eventually morphed into, you said, Quicksand, right? But,
yeah.
Well, and then Gorilla Biscuits released a 7-inch later on with the Sunday Matinee song.
Yeah. That was much later on. Yeah.
And side projects of all that stuff. Sergio Vega.
Yeah.
He was a guitarist in Quicksand.
No, he played bass.
Bass.
Yeah.
So he has a solo CD, and it was called the Ray Marth Sessions.
Oh, fuck. Really?
Yeah. And I have it, and it was really cool.
It sounds awesome.
Old school beatdown, but it's nothing like hardcore or anything.
Yeah, right.
But that was a really neat release too. That's all connected to all that too.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray Marth Sessions, Sergio Vega. It's like blue and orange.
Check that out.
Yeah, some cool songs. There was something else I was gonna say, but I forget. Very Distribution. So yeah, there's no. I don't know. I don't know of like any other distribution catalogs like that anymore. I mean, I guess you got like Interpunk, but nothing like that was so connected to like the hall shows, the underground, really.
Yeah, right.
I guess you can sell all your own stuff nowadays, basically.
Yeah. I don't know what it was about Very. I feel like there was a Lumberjack. They had a pretty extensive catalog too.
There was
a
third
you're right.
one, I think. I remember. I forget.
There were a few. Yeah, I remember Lumberjack. I remember Very. But you're right. You don't really see that much anymore. I mean, like if you go to Death Wish, you know, you go to their website, they have an entire like distro catalog. Equal Vision had a pretty
Revelation does, yeah.
Revelation, yeah. I mean, now
no
it's
idea Records would buy up like the really underground stuff.
Yeah, right. But now it's like all these labels have just kind of like become distros for other labels, which is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's no
everybody's working together, you know.
Right, which is cool. But yeah, you're right. There's no like standalone distros that just like, you know, set up tables and go to shows. Not that I can think of anyway.
No. I have a cool record. So I actually have it with me. This band Mugger.
Mugger, yeah.
So
told me
I don't know if
about
you're gonna be able to see it, but
yeah, it's like a green. I can see it.
It's plexiglass.
Oh, what, dude? What?
Only 50 made of this bluish color.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Is it heavy? It must be pretty heavy.
Thick.
Yeah.
It's real hard. I played it once. But yeah, this is the 7-inch where they did a song with Jake Bannon from Negative Approach.
Negative Approach, yeah.
Yeah. There was 100 in white on plexiglass, and then it was in such high demand they did 50 in blue, and I got the blue one.
Oh fuck, dude, that's so rad.
With a T-shirt.
Nice.
But this is cool. This band's really awesome.
Dude,
I really dig this band.
Wait, how does it sound? It's fucking glass. Like, how does it sound when you play it?
I mean, a little like
Really?
maybe a little, you know, more like the treble's a little higher, you know?
Yeah, right.
But I don't know if that's just the recording in general.
Could be, but yeah.
No, it sounds absolutely fine.
Yeah. That's fucking wild, man. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's yeah. Whenever I find a piece of vinyl like that that's on like something else.
Yeah.
I gotta get it. But yeah.
That's really rad. Yeah, they're cool. I like that band Mugger. They fucking rip. All right, you want me to keep it going?
Yeah.
Okay, so I should have researched this a little bit, but so in the 90s in Philly, I used to fucking love going there with a bunch of money because
you had to save your money.
There were like 5 record stores all within like maybe a 5-block radius.
Yeah.
And I had a whole system. Like I would park on 5th, and then I would hit, the record exchange.
Yep.
Check out what they had, and then I would take a walk, and I'd go up to 6th, and I'd hit Repo. You know what I mean? Hit Repo Records right on South. And then I would go a little bit further down and hit Space Boy, which was like next to or above Zipperhead, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would turn the corner and go up the street and hit the Wooden Shoe. You know what I mean? There were like all these great fucking record stores. And then there was Noise Pollution and and then Relapse Records. The label had set up a brick and mortar.
Yep.
In Philly, like right across the street from Noise Pollution.
It's not still there, is it?
I have no idea. I have no clue. I would think not, but it was great because there were like 6 record stores all within like a fucking 5-block radius, and I would just hit them all. And then when I got hungry, I would eat. You know what I mean? And then
they had like punk clothing stores on South Street that would have like killer records in them too.
Yeah, right. Just random places.
Yeah,
that had
like,
really cool
like
shit.
a bondage shop, and you're just like all these punk records are in there. Yeah, I remember being in them, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that said, I went into that Noise Pollution place once, and I would usually sell and trade with those guys. I don't know why, because the record exchange, they were enormous. Like they had the upstairs and that whole fucking downstairs, so they had a ton of records, and they weren't really paying. Not that I was looking for top dollar, but they would they would be like, they wouldn't really give you exactly what things were worth.
Yeah.
Because they had such an immense fucking store.
Yeah. Well, I got to resell it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the dudes at Noise Pollution, they were just like, they would actually like talk to you about it and like get into it with you and like, be like, oh, well, we could trade this for that and do this. And like, they were just way more responsive to getting inventory in their stores. So anyway, I went in there once and I'm looking around and I see this. You ever hear that band Rain from DC?
No. Rain?
Okay.
R-A-I-N?
R-A-I-N.
No.
Rain. Yeah. Okay. So Discord put out a comp. It was a benefit for the homeless in DC. All the heavy hitters from like the DC scene were on it, and Rain had one song on it, and it's got to be next to the Fugazi song that's on it. It's probably the best fucking song on that comp. It's so fucking good, And I'm like, wow, who the fuck is Rain? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And then I find out that it's like one of the guys that did a lot of like, he took photographs of a lot of DC bands, and a lot of his pictures are in DC band layouts and things. Like they always use his photos and a lot of their layouts. This is early on, early DC. But so he sang for this band, and I was like, fuck that! Like that song is incredible. I need more shit. And I had no idea that they had ever put anything else out. I figured it was like the song for the comp, and that was it. Maybe a demo or something. But I'm in Noise Pollution, and I see this fucking thing, and it says Rain on it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I pick it up. It's an 8-song, like, EP. I guess it's an EP. I don't know if that constitutes as a fucking LP. Maybe it does. Anyway, so I'm like, is this the fucking DC Rain? And I'm looking for the insert. I'm like looking around, and I asked the guy, I'm like, these guys from DC? He's like, yeah, it's on Peterbilt Records, which is Guy from Fugazi's record label. And I'm like, wait, what? Guy has a fucking record label? Like, it just blew my fuck. The whole thing just blew my brain. I'm like, holy shit, I gotta go home with this thing. And it wasn't even like priced crazily, you know what I mean? It was like super affordable. Yeah. I'm just like, wow, like, how did you guys get this? He's like, some guy came in and he sold his collection. I was like, holy fucking shit. So yeah, it's a fucking 8-song EP. The song from the comp is on it, and the rest of the songs are just fucking great. It's that total
Is that all they put out?
I'm pretty sure that's all they put out. I could go on Discogs now and check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. There was the song on the comp, and the EP. It's a 12-inch EP. The song from the comp is on it, and yeah, I just couldn't believe that I was holding it in my hand, and the dudes at Noise Pollution had it, and I just happened to be there that day and found it. It was fucking incredible, and I still like, you go on Discogs now, and I could probably get $100 for it today. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But there's just no way that I'm ever gonna fucking get rid of it. It's like it's awesome. No. You know what I mean? And it's on Guy's fucking record label. I'm like, what the fuck? This is amazing.
That's awesome.
And it's so good. It's so fucking good. And I don't understand like how a band like that, like a lot of their contemporaries at that time, like Swizz, Grey Matter, a lot of those bands in that Revolution Summer era, Rites of Spring, that Revolution Summer era DC. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people just latch on to like 2 or 3 of those bands, and the rest of them just kind of get swept under the rug. But I'm like, dude, Rain should be on everybody's fucking radar. Like, they were fucking great.
You pick anything out from that time era in that area, and you're just blown away.
Dude, yeah.
My 100% favorite is Rites of Spring from that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's an amazing record.
Yeah, every time I listen to it, I'm just blown away. But yeah.
But I feel like with a lot of people, the buck just kind of stops there. You know what I mean? Like everyone else, But you listen to Grey Matter, and that's some of the greatest like melodic hardcore ever fucking written. Lyrically, musically, the band was great. Yeah. And I just feel like they don't get the shine that they deserve. And I feel like in my opinion, Rain is
Not
right
at
up
all.
in that wheelhouse. You know what I
It's
mean?
tremendous songwriting came out of that, and
Yeah,
like so
I
much
know,
even
man.
emotion went into it. Like
Right.
the poetry and the lyrics of all those bands,
Everything.
everything was absolutely
Everything
blown
about it was
away.
so fucking special. Yeah.
But
And it's like, I completely, that was what, 85, 86? I
yeah,
was, what, 12? So I had no idea. So I came to find out about that shit much later. But even now, uh, hitting 50, I'm still, like, just completely just enamored and blown away by all the shit that came out in that short period of time in DC. I don't understand. Like, those musicians were so fucking creative, you know what I mean? And they just like didn't really like give a shit. They just did what they wanted to do. Like, and on top of it, they're constantly playing like benefit shows and putting out like benefit comps, and they were just so rooted in community, more so than any other fucking scene that I can think of. Honestly, like probably way off base, but I mean, like DC was just so special in that way. And some of the music that came out of that scene is fucking unmatched. Unmatched. You'll never. I don't think you'll ever really. I don't know.
I don't know. You get it from time to time. Like you can sit there and say like, oh, like the New York scene, and if you really dial into like Lower East Side in New York and what came out of there and what they're still doing, it's phenomenal.
Of course,
and then
it's very special.
And then you got
Gainesville.
It's
the blueprint for hardcore, for modern hardcore. You know what I mean?
If you ever like started researching all those Gainesville bands, not just Gainesville, but all those Florida bands and No Idea Records and all those bands, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Blows you away. That's why I went to the fest that one year, Fest 20, because like Radon played, and I was like, what?
Shit.
And I went with like Jen and John, and like Jen,
I
was at the show and watching Radon, and like Jen's like, I don't know, I don't get it really, and I'm like, you have to know them, you have to know the band,
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah, and then like, I think at the fest like this year, like Hot Water Music, got the key to the city.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like Chris Wollard's wearing a Radon shirt, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking rad. It's so rad.
Oh, but
yeah, that's pretty wild. That whole key to the city thing. I mean, it's totally deserving. They're totally deserving of it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it's just so strange to me. I don't know. It's weird. It's very cool.
Well, it is, because it's like, so years ago, I'll switch to New York, kind of like what you're talking about. All right. So I was on this thing, like with what you're talking about. I'm like, well, how do these scenes start? Like, what is it? What is it economically? What is it socially? Like, what happens? And I kind of just determined that it's got to be something where the kids are completely free. They're not like being hammered and told what not to do. They gravitate towards each other, and they're just in an like this whole notion that everyone's like, all right, let's figure this out, let's do this together. Like I grew up with some other people that I tried singing in a band, and I got screamed at because I wasn't as outgoing right away, and I never did it again. And I'm like, well, that's not what this is supposed to be.
I know. You're supposed to give me the support I need to get better.
Yeah. So I'm in. Oh, what's the name of the town? It's when I lived out near Cherry Hill, and then I was at a flea market down in one of the South Jersey towns, and
not Columbus. Columbus Flea Market.
No.
That's like one of the biggest ones in New Jersey, I think.
No, I forget, but they always had it there, and it was great. I absolutely loved the flea market because every weekend was different record vendors.
Yeah.
So this one old guy, white hair and everything, tells me about David Peel in the Lower East Side.
Oh, what the fucking fuck?
This is called, and then the album's called The American Revolution.
American Revolution, yeah.
So this is the earliest thing I found for, I guess, the mentality of what people experienced in the Lower East Side of New York City. And this is back during the time, like he would hang out with, I'm not going to get my facts right, one of the Beatles.
Really?
I want to say Paul McCartney, but
well, it could have been John, because I know John. I mean, that was the '70s. John lived in the Lower East Side. John Lennon.
Then it was him. I think you're right. So, legalize marijuana, oink oink. I want to get high. I want to kill you. Hey, Mr. Draft Board. And then
Yes.
God. Those are the names of the songs. And this dude, and the guy that I bought it from was like, this dude is fucking radical for his time. And it really was.
Yeah, sounds
really
like it.
Was.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild.
For mid-70s?
My kids were younger. My one kid kept picking out the one record. I'm like, no, you're not listening to that right now.
Yeah, not today.
So I wanted to find more stuff by him. So this is like a gatefold album, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But then there's this. It's a repress called The King of Punk.
David Peel and Death.
Yep. So other members. And in this song, King of Punk, he goes off. He's like,
fuck yeah.
Like there's this I have another record of bands that played CBs, live recordings of all these early bands like the New York Dolls stuff. There's a band called The Shirts, band called The Tough Darts. And in this, he's like, fuck the New York Dolls, fuck the Tough Darts. It's all just, fuck this band, fuck you, fuck this band, I'm the king of punk. Go fuck yourself.
Right.
And he's talking about all like New York Dolls and all those bands that are so ingrained in punk. And he's like just destroys them on this track.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Murder Burgers, like, yeah. Like, so getting back to what I'm saying is like, it's just wild how like some areas just, I don't even know what I want to say because I wasn't prepared for this, but it's just like socially and then what people go through and then what comes out of it, the mindset from back then and what it is and what it was. And, so what came out of the Lower East Side and all that attitude started
with this guy. That's fucking wild, man. That's
from
so
what
fucking
I know.
Cool.
Yeah, from what I know. Yeah. I would love to actually sit down with like someone from like that time, like in New York hardcore from like the Lower East Side.
Oh, totally.
Like have a talk with like, before them. What do you remember before you, music wise?
Yeah, right.
In that area,
like pre Dead Boys, pre Ramones. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, like Stiv Bators and all that stuff. He's like, fuck this, fuck yeah, like.
Yeah, right, dude. That's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, David Peel. Yeah.
David Peel.
Yeah.
True radical. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the song's called King of Punk. Listen to it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna fucking check that out for sure.
Yeah.
That's wild. I gotta ask my buddy Chris if he knows anything about him because he's the only person I know that just fully dives into like if there's a band that's even remotely punk or rock and roll, he's all in. Like he will find everything they ever put out, listen to it at least once, and get an idea of what was happening. He's a true.
Yeah. I haven't dug into anything since I found this. So if he's got any information, let's all have
I gotta ask.
I'm interested.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it's just what I love about music. But,
yeah, I know. Who fucking knew? It's too bad you didn't talk to the guy that sold it to you more.
I did for a little bit, but I was more like
where did he get the record?
He had all this stuff. I mean, he just had boxes and boxes of shit from like the 70s, and I'm just like,
so rad.
Yeah, I never went there with like, $300 in my pocket or anything because I was always nervous I was going to get mugged, but
yeah.
Boy, that was cool.
That's very cool.
But that's also the same flea market that I found Jawbreaker's 24-hour Revenge Therapy on.
Okay, cool.
For like $40, and I only had $40 on me that day, and I turned it down.
That's it.
And I hate myself for it.
I'll eat later. Yeah.
But
that's really rad.
What do you got?
Okay, so my wife is pretty big Elvis Presley fan.
So is mine.
Yeah,
it's like Elvis in the back. Look.
Yeah, I see that. I know. I saw that. But
I'll send you a picture of the Elvis clock we got too.
No. Yeah, I got one too. Yeah. So, but
all right, go.
Like she's okay with like '68 special Elvis, but she loves like early rockabilly Elvis. Like that's her fucking speed. That's what she is. And you know, we were dating at the time, and I was like, yeah, let's fucking go to Graceland. You know, let's go check it out, see what's going on down there. She's like, all right. So, you know, we worked out our fucking work schedules and all that shit. We went down to Graceland, and it was awesome. It was everything you thought it would be. You know what I mean? But you know, we had a couple of days, so we went and like checked out the city. We were kind of walking around, and I went into this thrift store. No idea. I can't remember what it was called. No idea. We had nothing. You know, we needed something to do. We saw this thrift store. We're like, let's just go check it out. We went in there, and I immediately see the records. I'm like, well, I gotta fucking go over there, right? Let me go check it out. Yeah. So I'm flipping through, and it's just like, you know, what you would expect. You know, a lot of fucking Neil Young and weird jazz records and shit. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I fucking see it. So I guess it was Warner Brothers, if I remember correctly. I wish I had it with me. I could tell you exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was Warner Brothers. But they did the original trilogy, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. They did abridged versions of the stories on vinyl records, and they came out in conjunction with the movies. And I remember as a kid, you know, I was what, fucking 6 when Empire came out. Empire came out in 1980, so I was 4. I was 4 going on 5 when Empire came out, and my mom got me a copy of the Empire Strikes Back on vinyl. It's like a gatefold. It's got all these cool pictures, and it tells the story of the Empire Strikes Back on a vinyl record. And they have like clips from the movie that they kind of tie in to the narrator, like telling the story. It's awesome. And I've had this Empire Strikes Back record for years and years and years. I'm like, fuck, I need like the other 2. I need A New Hope, and I need Jedi. Like, I need to complete this collection. And I walk into this thrift store, and I'm flipping through, and they had A New Hope on fucking vinyl. And I was like, fuck, this is it. It was not in the best shape, but I'm like, I'm taking
you're not going to find that stuff in the best shape.
Dude, I'm taking this back to New Jersey with me. It was like, it had the gatefold, it had all the pictures, and the vinyl was a little dirty, but when I got home, it played fine, you know what I mean? But I was like, fuck, this is it. Like, I've been looking for this for, 20 whatever years. And they also had the original score, the John Williams score on double LP. So
wow.
These are fucking coming home to New Jersey. I was so fucking stoked to find these things in some random fucking thrift store in Memphis, Tennessee. I was like, fucking hell, this is great. And
I had some of those 45s they put out back then.
Oh yeah,
like
I have them too.
Storybook 45.
The storybook ones, I have those too. Yeah, I have all 3. I have the New Hope, Empire,
awesome.
and Jedi.
Yeah.
And then years later, I found the abridged story of Jedi on vinyl, and then I got a picture disc of the Jedi story. Apparently, they did one with 3PO on it, one with an Ewok, and one with Vader, and I got the Ewok.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a gift. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I already have this, but I don't have the picture disc. You know what I mean? It's great.
No, that's so cool.
So it was fucking rad. It was really cool. And then I was in the thrift store, you know, and I kind of like talking to the guy working there about the Star Wars records, and he's like, "Yeah, we get Star Wars shit in all the time, you know." And then he's like showing me all these old toys and shit. I'm like, "Holy shit! Like, I don't have enough money for all this, but these records are coming home with me." And then I asked him if there were any other record stores in town. He told me to check out a store called Shangri-La. I'm like, "All right, cool. You know, we'll go check it out." He gave us the address. We went, got lunch, and then we went to the record store, and I picked up an original copy of London Calling, double LP by The Clash.
That's awesome.
Fuck, man, I'm moving to fucking Memphis. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I mean, it was a great long weekend. You know what I mean? But like those record finds were fucking incredible to me. It was so rad, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love stuff like that. Whenever I go anywhere, I try to find the record stores.
Yeah. And I didn't go in thinking I would find anything. You know what I mean? And then I found that Star Wars record. I'm just like, holy fucking shit! I've been looking for this forever.
Have you ever heard of that Elvis recording? Let me see if I can find it. It's called like $1 Million something. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, it's called the $1 Million Quartet. It was put out on the CD, and it's a jam session with Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Johnny Cash.
Wow.
In the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun Studios, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's raw. It's absolutely raw.
It's
totally
fucking
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta say, we took a tour of the Sun Studio. You know, they have like guided tours that kind of like tell you, who recorded there, and there was like there's like this rockabilly chick, and she's like, yeah, when you listen to I forget what song it is, but there's Johnny Cash song. He kind of gets that kind of weird pick and twang in his guitar. It's because he stuffed an ace of spades like up in his fretboard. He got that like cool sound out of his guitar, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then there's like
that's awesome.
They have it marked off like where Elvis stood and recorded vocals. It's fucking cool. It's really rad.
That's pretty neat, man. That's really
neat. It was cool. And also there was the Stax Museum, the Stax Records Museum, which if you ever go there and you have an appreciation for soul and R&B, and if you leave there with a dry eye, you're not fucking human. You know what I mean? Like, they just tell you the whole story about Stax Records and like how they were on such a tight budget and they just wanted the music to get out there, and they just like they cut records like in this church that was adjacent to the Stax the studio. I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a whole they showed a whole movie.
Though. If you're a music fan, like you end up shedding tears with some of that stuff. Like,
right. It was just so moving. It was so moving to know that like these talented musicians had nothing. They only had each other. You know what I mean? And their only means of like creating and getting their music to other people was relying on each other. And that's that's the backbone of fucking punk rock and hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it resonates. It totally resonates with who we are as people. Anyway, me and you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You ever watch the Muscle Shoals documentary?
I don't know. No, I never saw that one. I've been dying to fucking see it.
I think it's on like Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah.
Rob, you gotta watch it.
I know I do. I know.
Like, but the way they deliver each story in that, oh my gosh, it was like chills every single time.
No, I know.
And to find out that this band backed more records than anything ever.
I know.
They backed the Stones records.
Fucking crazy.
All the good Stones shit.
Fucking crazy, yeah.
Like, you gotta watch it. That's all I'm gonna say now. All right.
Yeah. No, I know. I've been meaning to. I just haven't. I don't have. if the TV's on, it's a fucking kids show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Watch it little by little. Yeah.
And then by the time they go to sleep, I'm like, well, I'm not putting anything on right now.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I'm usually good if I start something on the weekends before the kids wake up, and I'm like, then I get to finish it. You know?
Yeah, right.
They're not ready to watch TV yet, but so.
And I have such a short attention span. If I don't like dial into the whole thing all at once, like.
Yeah.
I can't go back the next day. I'm gonna just have to fucking start it over from scratch. Like from
I understand what you're saying because I'm the same way, but like you will go back to this one.
Yeah.
This one's different.
No, I know. Yeah. I gotta check it out.
I got a new record store in town, and believe it or not, it's called Curmudgeon Records.
No way.
Yeah. So I went in and I told the dude, it's just this little like hole in the wall little place. Yeah. And he's just really passionate about making it work. And he spends all his free time right now doing it. It's not his main job. And but yeah, he's just trying to buy and sell records. He just loves records. I had a great conversation with the guy, and it was so much fun. Yeah. So I got my wife a Patti Smith 45.
Oh, sick.
Put together like like
an old fucking cut
out. Yep. And it's just
looks
it's literally
looks like an old Discord record.
Yeah, it's literally slapped together. Like all of a sudden, when the recording stops, the song it just stops. Like the record just stopped. Like it stopped spinning. Like the needle wouldn't go anymore, and it just stopped spinning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh! I'm like, what's gonna happen to the motor? I'm like, so I pulled like the needle up. Yeah. And it was wild. It's just it's a Patti Smith group, Rock and Roll Star. My wife is absolutely in love with it, and it's really cool. They think they do. I don't know, but I thought they did a cover on it, but it says like one of the songs is for Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
It's cool. So then I found Neutral Milk Hotel on vinyl, which I've been wanting for a while.
Oh, cool, yeah.
They had that there. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
The jam was this thing.
Yeah, that fucking thing. You sent me a text with that thing.
It's 3 bands from Baltimore. It's called From the Land of Pleasant Living, and it's a comp. I did find that other people know it exists online, but that's it.
That thing's fucking enigma.
Glazer Ride has an Instagram page with very little amount of posts, but with a flyer on there that they played with Avail once.
Okay.
On their page, and then another band called Butch, and another band called Octopus, and each band has 2 songs, and off of Morpheus Records and Ambiguous City Records, and that's it. It's a 10-inch, and it's pretty cool. They're just 90s hardcore bands from back then.
Yeah, so rad.
And that's it. And but the name of the record has something to do with there was like a beer company in Baltimore, and it was part of their slogan campaign or something, or like part of the city's slogan, From the Land of Pleasant Living.
Okay.
So it's like the whole thing's just rooted like in Baltimore.
In Baltimore, yeah, that's fucking rad.
Yeah. And I just bought it because it was the only 10-inch he had in the shop. I go, you got any 10 inches in here? And he's like, no. He's like, not really. I'm like, oh. I'm like, all right. And then I found one. And he's like, I didn't even know that was in there. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. Super cool.
Now, I got one more story after yours.
Yeah. I got one more, I guess. So, in the when my wife and I first started the restaurant, we would spend our winters because we were on LBI. We did all business in the summer, and we would go down to Miami and work in the winter in Miami. Whatever money we made, we would sink back into the restaurant just to keep it going. You know, so we did that. We did that for a few years because her dad lives down there, and he was living with his girlfriend at the time, now wife, and he had his apartment that was just kind of like collecting dust. He was like, well, "Why don't you come down? You know, I can get you guys jobs. You could stay in the apartment, keep it clean for me, you know, and then you go back home in the summer, and you know, run the restaurant." We're like, okay. And we would work at this. It was called the Gourmet Diner. It was this old diner car, but it sold like French cuisine. So it was like really high end, you know, like fucking frog legs and shit, you know, just like goofy, weird food. But, you know, like their clientele was like big fucking bucks, you know what I mean? So we would make decent money, you know, and that's basically how we kept the restaurant alive for a couple of years. But it was interesting. It was fun. I mean, I hate Miami's awful. I would never want to live there. Long term. Yeah, but I mean, being in Miami for those 2 or 3 or 4 months, whatever, knowing that I was leaving and going back to New Jersey was the only thing that got me through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is temporary. You know, I'm just gonna make money, sink it back into my business, and then hopefully we won't do this much longer. But anyway, that's beside the point. So in Florida, there was I'm sure it's still there. It's a place called Churchill's. And it's like the CBGB of fucking Miami. It's a fucking hole in the wall, total fucking shithole. But touring bands would come through all the fucking time. And it was when I'm telling you it was my saving grace, it was my fucking saving grace. Everything else in Miami is fucking shit. That place sucks. Yeah. But anyway, downtown, like you know, kind of like the outskirts ghetto Miami, Churchill's the place to be. And you know, like, who the fuck came? Joe Coffey came through there. Agent Orange came through. Yeah. So I got to see like some really good fucking shows. And right next door to Churchill's was a record store. But you have to remember it's Miami. You know what I mean? So they didn't have like a lot of cool shit, you know? You know, they had like, I don't know, like fucking Taylor Swift records and shit. You know what I mean? Like just like dumb, like shit you would find in fucking Walmart or something. It was just lame. Yeah. But I went in there one day. Huh?
Did you get knocked loose?
Yeah.
Sorry, had to get it in there.
So fucking weird, man. That's a whole other fucking episode. Anyway, so I went in there and I'm looking around, and they have like a lot of like DJ singles and things. I'm like, oh man, this kind of sucks. Like, you guys are right next door to like this fucking dirty punk club, and you're selling all this weird shit. And I'm looking through, and then I find it, and it's a Tribe Called Quest. It was a repress. It was like a second pressing, but it was a double LP of People's Instinctive Travels Through the Paths of Rhythm, their first one.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just like, holy fucking shit! I can't believe this is in this fucking store right now. And I'm flipping through some more, and then there it is, De La Soul is Dead. I'm just like, what the fucking fuck? Where am I right now? You know?
Oh, original De La Soul.
The De La was the original, but the Tribe was a repress. And I'm just like,
because De La Soul just re-released all those about a year or so ago.
Yeah, they just recently got the rights back to their shit. Yeah. But dude, I couldn't fucking believe it. You know, because like when I tell you about Churchill's being the CBs of fucking Miami, like I went there once. I forget who was playing. I think it was that Joe Coffey show. But everyone had to use the women's room because the men's room was literally like spilling out onto the fucking floor. Like there was just fucking water. That whole side of the building was filled with toilet water, and everyone was using the women's room.
Show still goes on though. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like this is so. Yeah. I feel like I'm home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, But Churchill's was great, and that record store next door. I didn't think I would find anything, and I found Tribe and De La. I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. And it was, like I said, it was my saving grace, man, because that Miami's a fucking shitty town. It's weird.
I hear you.
Very weird.
All right, what was I gonna say? So, I think like one of the first episodes we did, I brought up this band called Adventures in Immortality.
Yes.
And they have a 7-inch called Monolith, right? And I can't find it on YouTube. I can only find stuff by like Grey Before My Eyes, because members of them formed into Grey Before My Eyes.
Yeah. You just sent me something by them recently.
Yes, yeah, because I wanted you to hear it, because that's a lot. Like Adventures in Immortality still sounds like that a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's really cool. But Trackstar Records put out a split with In Still and Grey Before My Eyes.
Yes.
So
I remember that one.
Yeah. So on the Monolith 7-inch, there's a song called Baton Rouge. I have a hard time saying that word. Anyway. So then, I think when we were first brainstorming about what to do with this episode, like Grapevines, I was gonna bring up the Drag Body split with Crucible off of No Idea Records.
Yeah.
Because then I have 2 Drag Bodies 7-inches. So then I started researching everything online. The one 7-inch, Drenched and Open, it's still so full of dust because I played it so much when I was younger. Come to find out, I think like a member of the band or something had passed away like years ago. They don't really do anything like with the band. There's no like researchers or nothing. But on one of the releases, there's an acoustic version of Baton Rouge. And I'm like, what?
Huh.
I'm like, what is this? And I start looking at the lyrics. I try to pull out the 7-inch, and I'm like, these are the same lyrics. This is the same song. And then come to find out, dig in Drag Body. They're from Florida, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I dig up Drag Body on Instagram, and I sent a message to the guy. Eventually, it took him a while, but he responded. And he did say, yeah. He's like, the singer was we're all really good friends. We really love that song. We wanted a version of it. And it's just like a slow acoustic version. Not metal, nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking cool.
It's just another one of those little stories that comes full circle, and you're like, wow. Like these 2 bands over here and over here that I've loved for so long, and was such a staple of my childhood, getting to see not Adventures in Immortality, to seeing Grey Before My Eyes, and I believe I've seen Drag Body at some VFW Hall show before.
Sure.
And because that's where I got the 7-inch, and like they're connected, and
that's so fucking cool.
20 some odd years later, you're like, wow, these 2 bands are connected.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I can't thank
awesome.
the guy enough for like wanting to respond to me. That was cool. Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah.
Drag Body is one of those metal bands. You ever really listen to them? Get into them at all?
I've heard them. Yeah, I never really like dove in, but yeah, I remember that band.
It's a lot of fast. It's not your slower stuff. It reminds me a little bit of like sped up like Converge. Not as fast as Converge. But or like Page 99, how like everything's just on top of each other.
Right.
Yeah. It's playing over, and you got to really listen to like really hear it all, and like kind of like grasp like what you're doing.
Got to dial in. Yeah.
It's just wild, and you don't really hear about Drag Body being talked about a lot.
Yeah, I wonder why they're not in like everyone's vernacular. It's weird.
Yeah, but I'm sure they are. But not everything is out there in the open all the time.
Yeah, right.
That's why we like doing this, so people can go dig them up now, and listen to them,
right.
Start streaming them. But
that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I got. Unless you got one other thing or something else.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I had a couple other things, but it's
But these are some good stories. This was awesome.
Yeah, this was fun. Just doing like the research, I guess. You know what I mean? Like going through the collection and being like, oh, I remember getting this and being really stoked, and then all the memories come back, and you're just like, fuck, This is
Yeah.
great. Like, this is what collecting is all about, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what we should do. We should do like another month. Let's do or plan for another month, and then find some records that we don't really know about, and see if we can reach out to people who know about it. You know what I mean? Maybe see
Yes.
if we can talk to the band
Yeah.
about it and find out more about a release. Like,
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
Rain
Try to
record,
find.
see if you can find out more about them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd love to find out more about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a cool idea. I'd have to really scour my collection though. But yeah, no, I know there's a few in there that are just like totally
Yeah,
shrouded.
pick like one or something and see if we can dig.
Yeah, see if we can dial in on it.
But all right, man, we're gonna sign off.
Yeah, this was fun as always. Thanks, Brian.
Yep, thank you.